You're listening to Thrive Talk Network with your host, the angel of the airwaves, Jay Grayce. Jay, take it away.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you to everyone that's listening right now. I'm very excited. It is a week before Thanksgiving, so we're getting our tummies ready and getting into the mood of celebration. And you're listening to Thrive with Jay Grayce if you're just listening for the first time. And with us today, or tonight I should say, we have Lovari, who is actually a very multi-talented gentleman. He is a recording artist and done some acting as well, a songwriter. So welcome to the program.
Hey, thank you so much, Jay. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Lovari. Lovari, you've been in entertainment for a while now. What got you started in the first place?
Wow. Well, I always wanted, ever since I was a kid, seriously, 3 years old, I just was always singing. My mom said that we used to go on camping trips, and I had a wooden block. And I would just, sit, while we were on these camping trips, I would just, sing into a wooden block. And I would sing, yeah. And listen, my parents bought me toys, but I guess because it was camping and, I guess, I could camping, whatever. But the point is that I was singing, they said that I sang the Village People, YMCA, the Bee Gees, Staying Alive, and Donna Summer on the radio, that I was just singing it over and over and over again, those things. 3 years old. So, I was just always singing. I always wanted to just sing.
To do it. And then from wanting to do it, which a lot of people had that fantasy of doing it, to actually doing it, what was your first gig?
It's funny because I didn't really, when I was growing up, there weren't a lot of people that I knew that wanted to do that. Until I got to a high school. I went to Bayside High School, and that's a school of art and music. I don't know now if it's still known for that, but back then it was an art and music school. And then there were singers there, but even so, some of the people there weren't that many that wanted to make it a profession. My first gig, though, ironically, I was lucky. My very first gig was at a famous club in New York called The Tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it was at The Tunnel, and it was a night called Curfew Night, which is a college party night. And this guy, Jeff Brenner, who I still keep in contact with to this very day, and who actually still books me for some venues.
Nice, very nice.
It was his night, so big shout out to Jeff Brenner from Curfew. And that was my first gig, and it's funny because the following week or the week after, they had the lineup. So it was me, and then either the following week or the week after that was this guy named Eminem. So, yeah.
I don't know if anybody heard of
They
him
had that said upcoming performances, Lovari, Eminem. I was like, okay, cool.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. And so that's what catapulted you to get into the business, as they call it. But looking at your biography and looking at your official website, I mean, you've been on video. I think over 1 million videos were seen on Vevo for still.
Oh, on Vivo. Yeah. My video Still in Love has combined 1 million views. Yeah, on Vivo and YouTube.
That's really impressive.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's great. And also, you've been busy and pretty successful by it. I mean, you had a single number 1 on iTunes and Amazon chart with Still in Love. So that was
Still
a big hit.
That, right. The video was right, which is why I think the video ended up getting 1 million views, because it hit number 1 on both the iTunes and Amazon new release R&B chart.
How did that feel for you?
So I'm sure that helped get the video too,
Yeah, I mean, I think so, but I mean, that must have been pretty mind-blowing, from saying,
it's still mind-blowing to this day for me, because I haven't had any of my other songs so far hit number 1 on there, but it was, a great thing simply because I was on an indie label, so I didn't have all the major backing of all these other, big cheeses, so to speak. So absolutely, It was definitely an honor And a big shout out to I actually did not write that song. I write most of my songs. That was actually the only song on my album. No, I'm lying to you. There were 2 songs on the album that I did not write. Still in Love was one of them. So shout out to Mr. Jones, Jose Carlos Jones, who wrote that song, and Annie Jules, my duet partner on it. And then the second song that I did not write on that album was a remake of Debbie Gibson's Foolish Beat, which Perez Hilton put on his website. He said he hated it, but I don't care because you put me on your website, man, and you're famous.
Yes.
I don't care. And I still put on my thing as featured on Perez Hilton because it was.
It was, and I love it. Talk about, turning something negative into something positive.
Yes, exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
And,
Thank you.
And so, are we going to go into a music break, Mark?
I think we got a few more minutes.
Okay, fantastic. I didn't want to ask a question and then just sort of break it up suddenly. Okay, and I also looked in your bio, and you also have done some film work as well.
Yes. Right now I'm currently on the Funny or Die series Kippy. And I love it because I'm like a big... listen, everybody was like, oh, if you weren't a singer or an actor, you should be a comedian. You know what it is? I can never see myself doing stand-up because I don't think I'd be able to facilitate and maybe make something up on the fly, but people are always cracking up with me, and I'm just like a big kid, and like I'm really goofy. Like any little kids that are around, like especially my nephew, like I get in trouble because like every time I'm with children, toddlers, I have them jump around, go crazy. Not disrespectful, but I'm just like they just like go crazy around me. I think that they sense my spirit, like. I feel like a kid, and I'm not saying that in an irresponsible manner. I'm speaking of like my personality in general.
Lightheartedness, that one of playfulness kind of feeling.
Yes, exactly. So, and the kids pick up on that, and so like we jump around, and and all this stuff. So, the thing is that, and then I'm goofy, and I'll talk like, hey, yeah, man, and all that, so I'm a goofy person. I love that, so a lot of people, they think like, they'll whatever, like, they think of me as, some people, not all. I mean, like, if you know me, like, I'm funny and goofy, but in person, or if you see me in events, some people, they got like, try to have like this, like, whatever you want to call it, like macho or divo or diva, whatever. And yeah, whatever. If I portray that, I portray that. But like, I am like a goofy kid.
Right.
So the Funny or Die show.
When you're performing,
what's that?
I said you're probably focused, and that's what they interpret as probably being a diva.
Maybe.
Maybe.
No. Well, there's a few people that do like they call it the Lovari look. Some fans might like you put, and I don't even know. It's like they put like they do this thing like they pout their lips and they turn their face to the side and like lower their eyelids. And I don't even. I honestly think it's because when I talk, just like my eyebrows move or whatever, and I like to enunciate my words. So I really think that that's what it's from. It's not done intentionally. I think it's hilarious. I love it, But, but Funny or Die is really cool because I get to play. It's different. Each time it's different. Like, there'll be different, how do you say, storylines. So, like, one storyline, it was about tracking a serial killer. And that was like 3 parts. So in that particular one I played, my character's name was Benji, and I basically hit on everybody. Now the new storyline subplot is a possessed baby. So I'm playing a psychic named Zuzu, but I'm playing a psychic that seems more amazed by everything else than of my own, my own talent. So it's really fun. You could watch it on the Funny or Die network or on Funny or Die. It's Kippy.
I love it.
AKA the Chris Kepford Show. Yeah, so that's my current acting project.
How's that experience for you? I mean, doing that because Funny or Die, everybody kind of knows about it, and so has the exposure been good for you?
I think it has.
Okay.
I can't. You know what it is? I don't really know what other people. I mean, I know from comments on social media, everybody said that I was really funny in it, and I do laugh at myself when I watch it. So, I mean, from what I've seen on social media, the response is very good that I'm making people laugh and cracking people up, which is great. Overall, I couldn't, I couldn't tell you, but I enjoy doing it very much so.
Oh, and is it a long process, or is it like just one day you guys do it? What's the process like?
Well, they're shorts. These are the Funny or Die shorts, so they're
Right.
not full half hours. We'll do them and then we'll make them into half hour, 30-minute ones. But it's the last one we did was on my birthday in April, and it was cool though. It was like a 10-hour day, but it was cool because they did a birthday cake for me, and the cast
That's very nice.
sang happy birthday and all that good stuff, and so that was really cool.
Oh,
I was like, what better thing to do on your birthday than something you love, right?
Absolutely. And did
Yeah.
you have to audition for it, or was it just someone?
For Funny or Die, I didn't have to audition for this because the writer Chris Kepford, he had another show called the Chris Kepford Show, which I was on.
Okay.
So he took a lot of his people from the Chris Kepford show and put them and wrote characters for them on Kippy. So the truth is, no, I did not audition for this, but it was a spinoff of something else that I did audition for that I was on.
Right. Oh, that's wonderful. Now, are we ready for a break? We're going to do a musical break, so we're going to actually have your song, I Want to Be Loved, and then we're going to be right
Great.
back after that.
Sounds good.
To make a brand new start.
And we're back here with Thrive with Jay Grayce, and you're listening to Thrive Talk and Radio Network. And we have our guest, which is Lovari. And you were just listening to I Want to Be Loved. And what is the title of your album? So if anyone wants to...
So, that song, I Want to Be Loved, is from my remix album called, get ready, it's such an original title. Are you ready?
I'm holding on to my seat
get blown away.
right
You're going to be blown away with the name of the song that I Want to Be Loved is on.
Right. Okay.
Creative genius over here.
Uh-huh.
It's called, the album is called, I Want to Be Loved.
No way.
I Want to Be Loved, dash. The remix album.
Our minds have been blown.
Thank me later.
I mean, I'm going to have to talk about that. You know, what was the process like coming up with the concept of the title? I mean, it must have taken a long time.
I don't want to give away all my secrets. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I can't give away all my secrets.
Oh, there's the Devo part. There's the Devo part coming out.
Oh my God! No, actually, but I'll tell you this. Speaking of albums, though, so that's from that. I Want to Be Loved. That's from I Want to Be Loved, the remix album, which has a bunch of songs. It actually had 3 new tracks, which aren't new anymore because they came out last year. But you know what I mean.
Right.
But I'm working on a new album, and it's halfway done.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you have a...
And it's a totally different sound than what you just heard.
Really? Oh, you're going to have to come back and let us know when you're ready.
I'd be honored, definitely.
Yes.
It's, I'll put it, without giving too much away about the new album, it's very old school. Well, old school depending on what era you're from.
Right,
but
exactly.
It's very,
we can go real old.
Right. It's very 80s and 90s. Old school R&B. So like it's more about vocals, this album. See, that album you just heard, that track is the dance track. The vocals were kind of simple. It's more that was more concentrating on the music.
Right.
So this album is more about the vocals. Think early Mariah Carey.
Ooh, nice.
Early Whitney Houston, their first few albums before they crossed over or whatever. And Color Me Bad, all those songs you heard like in the early 90s, like on the radio, like those mid-tempo, SWV, Maxwell, things like that. That's what this new album, that's the direction of this new album that I'm doing.
I can't wait.
Right. Thank you. I am throwing a dance track on there, though, because I can't diss anybody that appreciates the dance music I've done.
Of course.
And that's going to be a Mariah Carey remake. I don't want to say which one, but
I love it.
I did remake a Mariah Carey song, and it's produced by Keith Kemper, the same producer that produced my other remake, Foolish Beat.
Oh, awesome.
The one that Perez Hilton is in love with. Not.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You know what's funny? Speaking of Foolish Beat, that's one of my favorite songs that I've recorded, period, and people that buy the album on, you get the breakdowns when you buy the, when we get our sales in, and so many people buy that song. Like, that's one of my top sellers. So, like, and people tell me, like, oh, I love the remake of Foolish Beat. And then another artist said, oh, I wanted to remake Foolish Beat. You remade it, damn. And I'm like, you can still do it.
Right, of course.
So it's like different strokes for different folks,
Yes, absolutely. That's the beauty of music. There's...
Absolutely.
You can interpret it a different way, and it's still your own way of doing it. So, yeah, it's wonderful. Now, so did you write the new album that you can't talk about too much about, but I really want to ask you about your songwriting skills. So are you writing most of your songs, or are you collaborating?
I'm writing all of the songs with the exception of the Mariah Carey remake. Yes, all of the songs thus far, I have written myself.
Nice, nice. And now I always like to ask songwriters, what is your process? I mean, do you think of something and then the song comes to you, or is it the other way around? The song comes to you and then you think of the title. What's your process like?
So here's the thing, and I appreciate you asking me about songwriting because a lot of people don't ask me about songwriting. The thing is that I used to, and I still prefer this method, I used to come up with melodies in my head, and I'm lying to you, I used to write the lyrics first. I like poetry almost.
Right.
Or more like a diary, because I wrote like basically letters to myself, but I knew I was writing them with the purpose of writing them as a song.
Right.
But I wouldn't care. At first I'd just start writing things, and then I'd start to make the ends, words rhyme, but without any melody. Then after I would think of a melody, and then I go to the producer and I say, hey, so I wrote these lyrics, I have this melody, can we make music to it?
Right.
So, unfortunately, a lot of producers, if you have a lot of money and a lot of time, they'll create around that melody, but a lot of producers have their own creations and their own things.
Yes.
So I used to do that. Now I've gotten into the process of just writing for the most part, writing to whatever the producer presents me with. Hey, I have these, this here, this there. And it was challenging, but now I've gotten into it. But it's kind of good because when you get a challenge like that, it challenges you to do stuff. Kind of like, if you got to work out, like I want to lift weights, and oh man, I don't want to lift this much, and then you keep pushing yourself. So, pushing myself, and I'm impressed. I am impressed with what I've come up with.
Good. Now, I'm going to do a nice little lovely segue, because for those who do listen to my program, that I talk about spirituality a lot. And you and I were talking a little bit behind the scenes, and you shared with me that you have prophetic dreams, and that and they come true. So you want to share a little bit about that with us? Because it's juicy to me.
Absolutely. So first of all, spirituality is very important to me. My relationship with God, my higher power, is extremely important. I have several conversations throughout the day with God, and every time I pass by a church or something, I'm always like kissing the air and like thanking God for life, etc. And when I wake up, I pray. During the day, I'm praying. Before I go to bed, I pray. So spirituality to me is essential, and this is because everything is because of, for me, everything is because of God and or higher power. Right. So that being said, and people know that about me. I've said that so many times. But what I haven't discussed before is, just because it never came up in an interview, but then you and I were talking prior to this, what I've never discussed before is I'm psychic, but it's an untapped, I can't control it, meaning that I'll have visions, specifically dreams, verbatim, and they will happen. Not all the time, but for the most, for a lot of the times. The thing is that most of the time they don't happen to me. Right. I have dreams about other people that things happen to. Once in a blue, I'll have a dream about me, and it happens, but it's for the most part about other people that I had the dreams about.
Yeah. Okay. So, in doing so, when was the first time you realized that you actually, like, wow, I'm kind of psychic? Do you remember that feeling? It's been years. Oh no, it's since I was a kid. Really? Yeah. But then I will have things too. Like, things will come into my head. All right, for example, so when my parents separated, I was like 12 or 11 or whatever, and I had a dream, and in the dream I opened the door to the house, and I saw the mail was on the steps. And I'm like, oh, the mail shouldn't be on the steps. The mail should be on the slot on the floor. So I knew that somebody had come into the house. And then I went up the stairs in the dream, and I opened the door, and I went into the living room, and the stereo was missing. And then there was a wooden statue missing. And then I went into the dining room, and I honestly forgot what the third item was, but it was something in the dining room that was missing. But it was 3 specific items. And the next day, I came home from... Oh, and in the dream, I knew it was my dad. And I knew that it was him that took those 3 items. So the next day, I came home from school, I opened the door, and what do you think? The mail was on the steps, and those 3 items were missing. And now, somebody can say, oh, probably because your dad... those were things that he loved. No, I had no idea about the wooden statue. I had, as a matter of fact, that was the gift that he had gotten from my mom. So, like, you can't say, the stereo, fine, whatever. Right. But the wooden statue, no. Like, that was something he gave my mom. Like, why would he take it? Right.
Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so definitely.
and then the mail on the steps and the exact items. And in my dream, it was when I came back from school. And there was no conversation. When my mom came home, she's like, where are these things? And I told, there was no prior conversation. I didn't maybe hear something that he was coming. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's one example. Then another example is when I was in grammar school, 7th grade or 8th grade, I had a dream, and in the dream, the school was on fire. But nobody got hurt. But the school was on fire, but we were all outside of the school, and it was on fire. And I woke up, and we get ready for school. My mom came in, and she said, there's no school today. One of the garbage cans in the school got set on fire, but so there's all smoke in the school.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's
so,
pretty specific.
Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah, those are... And again, though, I wish I could control it to help people or whatever, but it just comes and goes. Like, I can't,
Yeah.
Then a few times, there was one time that... there's more than one time, but... Like, one time I was at somebody's house, and their son walked in, and really briefly, and they left, and I said... I told the person, I said... Did your son get into a car accident recently? Because your son walked in, and I just saw a bunch of bushes, and I saw him walking away, but he's okay. And I was like, and I'm so sorry, I shouldn't even say anything because I was thinking if they didn't get into an accident. And she said, yes, he did 2 weeks ago, and that's what happened. He crushed into bushes, and he walked away fine, because he was there, so he was fine. Yeah, and again, things just pop into my head.
That's pretty cool. I love when things like that happen and you get instant validation, because normally, like I said...
Yeah, and then it works for me, too, with other things, because there was one time, I don't want to get too deep into it because I don't want to, give... But there was one time where I was going to do a business transaction, and the person was reputable, but in my head, I got a thing, and it said, if you travel... this person's going to suddenly cancel. You're not going to be able to do it. Don't waste your money. And it involves me going to another state to do something with film. And the person's reputable, makes films, yada, 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 secured me for it, and something told me don't get the ticket because I was going to get the ticket they were reimbursing.
Right.
And they kept saying, did you get the ticket? And I even lied because I didn't want them to think I was being irresponsible. So I was like, yeah, I got the ticket, whatever. And they're like, great. But I didn't get the ticket because I kept getting this feeling. Lo and behold, guess what happened? The day before production, I was on my way to get the ticket because I'm like, I have to. And they called, and production got canceled.
Wow. Yeah.
And that never happened to them before.
Right.
And that particular production that they were going to do, it didn't end up happening. Period. Like it didn't even happen in the future. It got scrapped. That
and
part.
That's
yeah.
Great, again, great validation on your part, and that you were. What I tell a lot of to people on the program is trust your instincts. We all have gifts, and if we just train ourselves to really trust our gut, you could have just said, "Oh, stop it. This person's reputable."
Right, and they are reputable. It wasn't right, and exactly. It wasn't that they,
And you could have just said to yourself, internal talk, and say, "Stop it, just get the ticket and stop playing games." You know what I mean? But you trusted yourself enough to say, "I'm going to wait it out."
Right,
and it worked to your advantage. And
it did, and it was crazy too because I like to think of myself as very responsible, and here it was the day before the freaking production, and I was finally gave in, and I was like, well, I need to get the ticket now, and then I got the call. So, yeah.
So that's wonderful that you're able to, like I said, it's hard to know how to use those gifts because, like you said, it comes and goes. We don't come with instructions. Right. But always trust your gut,
Oh, yes.
Trust it. And also, we're running out of time, so I want to make sure that people know where to reach you, know where to get your music. And do you have anything any gigs or any events that you want to share with us so that we can maybe perhaps see you in person?
Yes, I'm very excited about. I just got on Veterans Day. Was last week, and I was honored to perform in Jersey City's official Veterans Day event.
Congratulations.
Sponsored by AT&T, Harsimus Cemetery, Mayor Stephen Fulop. So I got to do that. I was very honored about that. I love this country. I love everything our servicemen and women do. And I don't care who you vote for. I don't care if you voted for Clinton. I don't care if you voted for Trump. I think we all need to respect each other.
Absolutely.
I've been seeing protests. There's nothing wrong with people wanting to protest, but I've seen people saying, oh, if you vote for Trump, unfriend me, don't ever talk to me again. Mm-hmm. If you're fighting for what you believe is somebody that you perceive is going to take away your rights, what are you doing then telling other people to not talk to you if they don't want to believe what you believe in? Mm-hmm. Isn't that exactly what you're fighting against?
Exactly.
Somebody that doesn't believe. Mm-hmm. Right. So, that bothers me. And I wish it would stop. So, yeah. But anyway, and it really bothers me when I see people burning the American flag. That's horrible to me. I don't care if it's a right, a First Amendment right, whatever. I just think it's downright disrespectful. Point being, I love my country. I love servicewomen and servicemen here, and I will respect and accept our president. And I will disagree, but I'm not going to be outlandish like that and tell people whatever. So that was great, the Veterans Day thing. Mm-hmm. I am excited because I'm doing Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Yay. I'm going to be singing the national anthem. Yup.
Nice.
At Barclays Center in Brooklyn on December 7th for the Charmille Davis Foundation, Colon Cancer Foundation. So I'm really excited about that. And there's a basketball game that happens too.
It just happens to be that there's a basketball game.
Yeah, they just happen to. The Brooklyn Nets are going to happen to be playing with the Denver Nuggets. So I'm singing my song, but there's a basketball game. Yeah. So, no, I'm really excited about that. And then also this weekend at in Manhattan, there is the launch of the screening of the television series Urban Animals, which is about cars. No, it's about animals, obviously. So I'm performing at their screening party, and it's going to be at Rock Bar in Manhattan, Lower Manhattan. So
Lower Manhattan, Lower East Side.
Yeah. Okay. No, the Village, Greenwich Village.
Okay, great.
The place is called Rock Bar, so that's going to be this Sunday, the 20th, and then December 7th, Barclays Center, doing the national anthem, and they may actually have me do. We're working it out to see if I can also do one of my tracks as well.
Ooh, nice.
So that'll be cool. And then, like I said, the new album, which we are trying to shoot for a February release. We'll see what happens.
Oh, well, let me know, and then we'll have you come over and do a little something for us.
I'd be honored. Thank you so much.
Well, my pleasure. Do you have an official website where people can check and see when you're going to be playing or whatever, so that people can...
Follow me on the gram. Nah, just kidding. Please follow me on Instagram and Facebook. But my official website is... I'm so original. Get ready. Okay. My official website is www.lovariofficial.com.
Again, I don't know, your genius, your process.
Like I said, work of genius. I know, it's okay. Yeah. You're welcome that I'm on the show. You're welcome. LovariOfficial.com is my official website. And then obviously Facebook is Lovari, L-O-V. Actually, Facebook is Lovari Official. And MTV, I got my videos on MTV Artists. Hey, I'm on my MTV. What? So yeah, if you go to MTV.com, artists, type in Lovari, obviously Spotify, Lovari, iTunes, Lovari. On Instagram, I'm Lovari _ because I don't know, man. There's a Lovari. The Lovari handle is taken, but whoever took it, they have 0 followers and they're not following anybody and they have no posts. I'm like, did I accidentally take it on a different account and not know about it?
Right, that happens sometimes. That's happened to me.
I think it did because it says 0 followers, 0 posts, 0 following. And this has been like for over a year now. So unfortunately, right now, my Instagram is Lovari _
Oh. Well, anyway, I am so grateful that we finally were able to actually have you on the program. Keep being psychic.
Thank you so much.
And again, a pleasure. Much love to you. And until maybe February, hopefully, you'll be back and you can share your music with us.
I'd be honored.
All right, Lovari, I want to thank you. I want to thank you, the listener, for tuning in every Thursday, 7 p.m. here on BlogTalkRadio.com. This is Jay Grayce saying, may you thrive in loving ways. Bye-bye.